What's going on, YouTube? You're back with Shades. We're going to continue our Let's Play of Katawa Shoujo Hanako's route. Last time we left off, we just had a little talk with, we just had a little lunch with, with, Lily, and now she went off to do some club stuff, so now we're going to keep going. As much as I like Lily, she's named Misha, she's named Misha have been pretty instrumental in helping me adjust, even if half our conversations are thinly veiled recruitment attempts. Then again, I barely know either of them. Maybe they were previously leaders of some kind of secret society, but their love for each other drove them apart. Man, I need to stop reading cheap fiction. It's rotting my brain. Either that, or I've got to move away from Kenji and his bad influence. Also, I really hate the fact that, like, as I read, it's not my normal speaking speed. It's as if someone took me when I speak normally and hit the 1.5 times speed on like the YouTube video. I'm just like, God freaking damn it. So if I ever speak too fast, feel free to like go back and put it on like 75% speed, because I feel like that would be enough for me to sound normal. Because I think it's because like my mind moves really fast. But the thing is, whenever I have to like talk like from my own thoughts, I have to think about the words, and it causes me to speak slower. But when I'm reading, I have the words right in front of me. I just have to say them. I just have to look at them and say them. That's all I have to do. Which is why I tend to read really fast. So I'm really sorry about that. Also, my freaking cooling fan is making a lot of noise. Fuck that. Anyway, it's sad that I can't tell the two apart anymore. I slide my books down the return chute and they crash into the cart with this pleasant thud. Yuko, however, doesn't seem as impressed as I. Hisao, you scared me. Sorry, I thought you'd be used to that by now. Or is the literacy level here so low that nobody borrows any books? Huh? No, I think everyone here can read fine. Yeah, never mind. There are some battles that you can never win. Trying to explain jokes is one of them. My dad taught me that the hard way. Say, Yuko, have you seen Hanako about? She left class early, but she wasn't in her usual place. I think I saw her sneaking before lunch. Oh, but I'm not supposed to tell anyone that. I just told you that I saw her leave. No need to stress out. Oh, of course. She's probably in the back. Thanks. Got any new books recently? No, sorry. I'll let you know when we do, though. Okay. If there's one thing I know about librarians, part-time or otherwise, it's that they appreciate people who take a genuine interest in their work. I walk the now familiar path to Hanako's reading nook, picking out a few titles along the way. Sometimes I find it hard to discover a book that will interest me among the shelves. An author's name and a two-word title don't mean much in a sea of similar words. For that reason, I sometimes reread books that I read in the past. Better to bet on the favorite than a new runner. Boy, do I know how that feels. The thing is, one of my most read books is not on my shelf right now. I think it's in the basement somewhere. But, like, you can tell how much I've read a book, based on what's... Oh, wait, hold on. See, here's one of the ones I've read more. This book's really good. It's Ice and Ice... the series is really good. It's the, Last Dragon Chronicles by Chris DeLacy. It's a very good series. I haven't finished it yet because, like, I've had the latest book right here, and I just never finished it. I think I need to reread the series, in all honesty. Huh. Yeah, I think I need to reread the series, because I have all of these books, and I think this is the last one? But I haven't read it, and you can tell because it still looks brand spanking new. Also, I hate the fact that they only sell them in softcover. I really want a hardcover one, because I love hardcovers. But yeah, I tend to reread books a lot, especially if I love the series. Oh shit, it's already damaged enough. I need to stop doing that. But yeah, the first book of this series is my favorite because it was like very innocent and nice and warm. But the thing is, I read it so much that literally it's a paperback and it literally snapped in half. And I had to tape it, and I felt so bad. Some pages are falling out, and I'm just like, at some point I need to buy a new one of these. And I'm gonna hate it. But anyway. But yeah, I reread books all the time. Not so much recently, but yeah. Also, I have The Fault in Our Stars here. An unfamiliar title from a familiar author peeks out among the spines of its neighbors, so I remove it from the shelf. At least I'm not going over old material. As expected, Hanako sits in our beanbag, buried deep in a copy of Dance, Dance, Dance. Is that a real book? Hi, Hanako. How's it going? I fight back the urge to ask why she left class early. If Lily's suspicions were right, then asking her about that could have the opposite effect. Best to leave it at... Best to leave it for the time being. Sometimes the best way to get an answer from someone is to never ask the question. Oh, I'm reading fast again. Oops. Shit. I was just getting rid of notifications. Hello, Hisao. I'm fine. Something seems off, and after a couple of seconds I realize what it is. Hanako's smiling. Wow, that's like the worst thing. Like, when something that's off is like they're smiling more. Like, it just means that she's more used to us. Yay. She looks as if she's pleased to see me. It's a nice change from the usual instinctively frightened reaction, and something I hope I can see more of as we get to know each other better. Good to hear. How's that book? I've heard it's a trip. It's good, I think. I've only just started it, so I don't really know. Fair enough. Let me know how it goes. I may borrow it once you're done. Sure. There's a good 15 minutes left in lunch, not enough to really get into a book, but too much to stand around doing nothing. And Hanako's already returned to her reading, so I doubt I'll get much conversation from her. Oh well, I'd better make myself comfortable. I slouch into a beanbag and crack open my book. The familiar style of the author leaps out at me from the very first line. As the sentences turn into paragraphs, I start to relax a little. But no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to get myself into the atmosphere of the book. This is partly due to the lack of time, but more the distracting factor is Hanako. Every 10 seconds or so, she peers over the top of her book, but when our eyes meet, she quickly ducks behind the covers. I guess she didn't want to talk about something after all. Hang on, I gotta clear my nose. What's up? You look like a prairie dog on lookout. It's nothing. I've told you before, nothing means something when you say it like that. Hanako squirms a little in her beanbag, hoping that by changing her position she'll find the word she's looking for. I was in an accident. Accident? Just now? Are you alright? Hanako shakes her head, her hair flowing around her shoulders in wisps of amethyst on the background of pale and dark flesh. No. When I was younger. Realization crashes into me like a semi. When I was... It's alright, Hanako. You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. Again, she shakes her head. No! I have to tell you. When I was young, I was in a fire. My house burned down, and I nearly didn't make it. After that, I was alone. Hanako's eyes glisten in the dim light of the library, and I reach out to grasp her hand. It's okay, Hanako. You don't have to keep going. But I have to. Why? What brought this on? Last night, Lily told me about your heart, and I didn't think it was fair. Fair? That I knew about you, but you didn't know about me. I squeeze Hanako's hand a little. Don't be silly. But yes, I have a heart condition. I lean a little closer to Hanako. What I didn't tell Lily is that I had my first attack when a girl confessed to me. I smile a little to break the tension. Really? Really. I haven't heard from her in a while though, so I guess it's all over. I know it's all over, so there's no other way to interpret what happened the last time I saw her. In some ways, not having heard from her again has helped me move on from that period of my life. So now we both know a little bit more about each other. But you don't have to talk about things if you don't want to. In fact, I feel a little bad even thinking about that whole incident. I can almost smell the hospital disinfectant burning the back of my sinuses again. I imagine Hanako's going through the same thing now. When I was in the hospital, I went to the burn ward once, and only once. I was bored, so I went for a walk through all the wards. I went through oncology and thought I could take it, but when I got to the burn ward, I turned around and went back to my bed. To think that Hanako would have spent months in a place like that, smelling nothing but corrupted skin, strong disinfectant, and sterilized air. The really bad cases were kept in isolated pods that no foreign objects could enter. That would have meant no reading. I would have gone insane if I didn't have my books in the hospital. Hang on, I'm gonna slow the text speed to a little bit, because if I slow it down, maybe it'll force me to read slower. And she said she was alone. Did her parents die? I'll have to ask Lily about it. I can imagine myself saying something dumb unintentionally. thank you, Hisao. I haven't told many people about this. To be honest, I haven't told many people about my circumstances either. Then I won't tell anyone either. Deal. I changed my grip on Hanako's hand into a handshake as the warning bells chimed through the window. Well then, we'd better head back to class then, eh? Sure. This was gonna bring me to tears, I know it! I can't imagine, like, a 7-year-old girl was caught in a fire. It doesn't matter whether it was intentional, like, the idea of it is, like, jarring to me, because, like, I've burned myself, like, a few times, and not, like, major burns, but, like, I used to have a scar, here, when I accidentally brushed my hand against a hot iron, and I once touched one, intentionally, because I was a kid and I was stupid, but other times, like, I just, like, got a little bit too close to fire. I didn't realize that I didn't realize that how hot water was. Things like that. Like, small burns. And I've had a few scars on my hands because, you know, I'm handsy. But, like, for her, it's, like, at least half her body is burned with these scars. And, like, recovering from, like, obviously third-degree burns is probably painful. And, like, I'm not even sure if Hanako can feel anything on that side of her body, because, like, third-degree burns burn you all the way down to your muscle, and so that means on the surface of her body, like, as far as I know about burn injuries, her nerve cells may or may not have fully recovered. Like, nerve cells, once they're gone, they're gone. So for all I know, she's completely numb on that side. So I don't know. Like these look like third-degree burns to me, but I could be so totally wrong. Like, I'm not a medical person. Like, I don't know much about burns. But the thing is, if those burns have scarred to this day, they were severe burns, and I can't imagine a child going through that. It just shakes me to my core. Like I as an adult probably couldn't take that. Like, well, anyway. Like, I'd be like, this sucks, this is painful, like, where's my morphine? But a child going through that, it's probably like, oh god, I can't even imagine it. It's awful. But, let's move on. I don't want to stay on such a negative topic. The tint of the room slowly changes from the shine of the afternoon to the orange of dusk. A clock lazily ticks away the seconds, counting in the background, on the verge of hearing. But no matter how long I wait, the outcome cannot be changed. The diminutive playing piece makes a small click against the board. Like a wound spring, Hanako makes her move only moments after mine. It's embarrassing. In comparison to my 5-minute move, she seems to know exactly what she wants to do. Mate. Again, what does this make this? 3-2? Stalemates don't count. Damn, you're getting better at this every day. That she's been holding back. I never have thought it when I first met her, but she really has a knack for this game. Also, this game is kinda loud. Did I turn it up in the volume mixer on accident? No, I did not. It's super loud. I don't want to lower it in the recording program because I wanted to get it as loud as possible, but whatever. Chess seems to have become a popular pastime for the two of us, hiding away in the tea room, playing a game or two after classes. From here, the students outside can just barely be heard milling about. The everyday noises from below remind me of a little of my life back before Yamaku, though I'm by now well aware that it's a life I'll never get back to. Fancy another game? I have to finish my homework. Oh, well, I'll see you tomorrow then. But what about this? Hanako points to the tea that sits surrounding the mostly empty chessboard. Don't worry about that, I got it. Oh, okay. See you. Later. Hanako departs as I start cleaning up the area. The occasional whistles and cheers from the sporting clubs outside become less frequent, eventually approaching silence. A part of me still wants to be in some kind of team, but since I played soccer and other sports before my accident, I guess it's only normal to feel nostalgic about what I can't do anymore. But I have other reasons than that for my coming here so often, and I don't feel so bad about losing that part of myself because of them. Lily is a good friend by now, but it's the small exchanges I have with Hanako that feel especially dear. The small victories I feel every day as I see more of what she's like under her self-imposed shell. That's why I come here most of all. As I'm putting away my cups and saucers, I hear her talking outside the door. Pausing for a moment to listen, I can make out that it's Hanako and Lily, and decide to go outside to investigate. Are you quite sure? I'm sure. Ah, Hisao. Hanako turns to me with a look of mild surprise as she notices my approach. Lily must have caught her just as she was about to leave. Oh my, Hisao's here as well. Afternoon, Lily. What's up? I was hoping, now that I finished with my class representative duties for the day, that I might have the two of you accompany me for tea at the Shanghai. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves outside of the school for a change. I'd be up for it, but I think Hanako had work to do, though. It's not all that much. Wonderful, it seems that we're decided then. To the Shanghai! I cast my eyes across the cafe as the three of us step in. As usual, there's only a handful of people around at most, and the noise level is a quiet background hum. The hold Lily has on Hanako's arm remains just as it had been for the entire slow walk down the hill to the local town. Though it is hard to say for which reason, for Lily's guidance or for Hanako's reassurance. For a moment, Lily removes her arm from Hanako's to retract her cane, as Yuko quickly skitters over to where we stand, but soon replaces it right back where it had been. Welcome to the Shanghai. May I take your order? She gives a deep bow, her well-delivered and professional introduction putting her in a good mood. It's a nice change from the normal for Yuko. Just tea, please, Hanako. Hisao. I'll have a slice of pie and coffee. Just tea, please. Coming right up. Please take any seat you wish, and I'll be back shortly. Yuko gives a smile and a nod before shuffling to the corner, and we make our way to some empty seats by the window in quick measure. We slip into our seats, the girls on one side with Lily's cane propped up beside them, and I on the other. I realize that Hanako's not doing something that she so often does. Rather than keeping her eyes pinned to the ground and hiding behind her blind escort, busily trying to convince herself that the world around her doesn't exist, she's merely keeping her eyes low and helping Lily around. Are you okay, Lily? You look tired. She lowers her head a little, looking somewhat embarrassed that she let it show. Class representative work can be very tiring, considering that it often means dealing with the student council. Very tiring indeed. How do the other representatives go? Better than I, but not by much. Shizune's a harsh taskmaster no matter whom she deals with. It doesn't sound like you particularly relish the job. Why do you do it in the first place if it's that bad? Being a class representative is enjoyable, and I can deal with the responsibility well enough. It's just that the people involved are sometimes... She trails off, cutting her words at a rather opportune spot. It's hard to imagine Lily cursing, but I imagine that if someone can make her do so, it would be Shizune. Hanako looks to be withering a bit in the light of such conflict, but before I can steer the topic away a little, she stands up. Hanako? I'll be back in a bit. With that, she leaves for the restrooms. I suppose that's one way to deal with the situation, if that was indeed her motivation. Lily, however, looks a little wounded. Don't worry about it, I don't think it was you. But... I think she's been getting stronger recently. You've seen it yourself, right? That went a bit awry. Fortunately, what's with my words? Fortunately, Lily doesn't look offended, and by now I really shouldn't be quite so scared of stepping on that landmine around her. Possibly. Sometimes I find it hard to tell, though. Silence reigns for a moment before two teacups of pie and a mug of steamy coffee appear in front of us. Excuse me. I notice that Yuko takes special care to place the teacup against the tip of Lily's fingers, letting her know where it is. Here you go. Thanks, Yuko. Thank you. With your quick and silent bow, the bespectacled waitress takes her leave. Oh, that's right. I was meaning to ask you something, and now would be the right time to do so. I'm all ears. Hanako's birthday is coming up, and I was hoping you might accompany me for present shopping in the city this weekend. Hanako's birthday is soon? I suppose it would be a nice chance to cheer her up a bit. Like Yuko, she always seems to be teetering on the edge of either panic or depression, and I've never seen her enjoy herself much outside of our chess games. All that aside, learning the layout of the city better with a friend keeping me company. What? Is that a typo? All that aside, learning the layout of the city is better with a friend keeping me company. With a friend better... What? I don't know why better is there. Living in the layout city better with a friend keeping me company sounds like a good way to spend the weekend. The word better doesn't need to be there. It makes it awkward. Sure, I'd be happy to. Have you got any plans for what to do for her birthday? A party or anything? Hanako, being Hanako, prefers a low-key affair, would be. Lily suddenly cuts herself short, leading me to wonder why she brings up her teacup to her lips and begins to sip. After a few seconds, I noticed Hanako walking up to us over her shoulder. Lily's hearing must be very good indeed if it was the sound of the restroom door opening that tipped her off. Hanako takes her seat once again and wastes no time in drinking her tea. Soon the three of us are quietly eating and drinking as the sun sets. It's a nice way to spend the reminder of the day's light, and it makes me appreciate the quiet and serene surroundings of Yamaku. I think I'm really beginning to take life here like life here, as isolated as it may be. What's wrong with me today? I finish off the last of my coffee and rest the mug on the table while the girls talk between themselves. The coffee here is a little bitter for my taste, but still quite good. Better than what I can make for myself in any case. I am not a big fan of coffee. Personally, I haven't drank coffee since I was in college. I only drink coffee when I needed to do an all-nighter, or when I need to stay up, or sometimes I drank coffee just because I felt like it. Because I remember I went shopping with a bunch of friends, and we went to a Korean supermarket, and I bought like some Korean instant coffee, which is by far my favorite coffee. It was just coffee that I enjoy, so I just bought a lot of it, and then I would just make it for myself randomly. And like for days where I had early classes, or for days where I just like couldn't get myself up, I would drink some coffee. Unfortunately, caffeinated stuff and energy drinks don't affect me as much as they used to, or at least as they should. For some reason, my body processes energy drinks in a way that I barely feel it. I don't know why. It's weird. Caffeine doesn't seem to affect me. Herbal stimulants don't seem to affect me. It takes a lot to actually get me drunk, even. I don't know why. Maybe my liver and kidneys just working overtime all the time. Or it could just be that I'm a big person, and that like in order to get me hype, it needs more. But like I don't know. But yeah. I like my coffee light and sweet because I'm a bitch. At one point in my life, I put condensed milk in my coffee because it was really sweet and tasted really good. But that's really unhealthy. You shouldn't do that. Let's continue this because I'm almost out of time. The girls' discussion is mainly focused on their respective reading preferences, which does give me a little curiosity about a related topic. Hey Hanako, I was just wondering, aside from chess and reading, do you have any hobbies or things you like doing? She's completely stopped in her tracks, looking quite surprised that anyone would be interested in asking such a question about her. It takes her a little time to formulate a response. I guess I like singing a little. I'm okay with computers as well, but I don't use them all that much. Singing's not exactly something I expected to hear. It's hard to imagine her singing voice, given how soft-spoken she is. I bet your voice is beautiful. Unfortunately, if you sing, I won't be able to do it for you. I'm an awful singer. Lily, on the other hand, simply nods. She must already know this, since she's been friends with Hanako for 1 year or so by now. What about me? She hesitates before quickly flicking her head up and down. It's only logical that she'd want me to talk about my hobbies after she told me hers. There's chess, obviously, but also... There was soccer as well, though I can't really do that anymore. Reading, which I picked up in the hospital. This is surprisingly hard. Lily and Hanako look a little put off by the direction this is taking, and the more I think about it, the more I am too. It sounds as if you picked up quite a few things since your accident. Lily's candor is coated with probably the most positive spin one could put on what I said. However, Hanako is silent. If the situation becomes difficult, her reaction always seems to be withdrawing into silence in order to prevent things from getting worse, that are physically retreating. Oh, that's a good place to stop. I didn't realize that a phone would ring. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me or from the series, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring that bell if you want notifications of when I post a video. I have to say that now because apparently YouTube doesn't push videos unless people are active subscribers. And I don't have a lot of those. So if you want to be an active subscriber, hit that fucking bell. And also, thank you guys so much for watching. You're now exiting the Shadyverse. My name is Shades, and I hope you've enjoyed. You're doing the Shades. See you guys next time. I will work on adding the bell to my outro. I might do mid-rolls. Like in the middle of a video, I might just say, like, hey, ring that bell, because I hate myself. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. So, I don't know. YouTube is a work in progress. I'm working to improve my content, guys. So anyway, see you guys later. Bye.